givers get. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers get. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers get. Oh. We are Billy Goat Tales. We are Billy Goat Tales.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Billy Goat Tales. We appreciate you tuning in on a Sunday, spending some time with us. We know everybody's time is important, so we appreciate it. Let's say hi to everybody on stage here. What's going on, Dave Digital?
What's going on, everybody? Looking like it's getting a little volatile out there.
Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about. What's going on, Jimmy Jim?
Not too much. Just sitting back and watching these big green candles. Pretty fun.
Yeah. Red Man, what's going on in your world? How you doing today, brother?
Billy, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Just ready for some more bullish news and bullish bubbles.
I hear you. And we have Tex-Mex, Biomex. Hold on. Let me hit it. Hold on. Tex-Mex, Biomex. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you know, it's getting close to the Bitcoin conference here in May. So things are getting closer to the time when we get to go and enjoy that trip. And we'll have a little bit more news later. So good to be here. Hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah. Jim, you want to say hi to the chat for us? See who's in here.
Sure thing. Let's see who's out here in the goat pen. We got Volmer. We got Jesse. I mean, that's two early birds every week. Appreciate you guys. I see Blocky. And who else we got out there? Volmer talks too much. Oh, there's K Diggity. And some Arabic I can't make out.
Rashad, what's going on,
Rashad? Jimmy, come on now.
I'm sorry, I failed.
You failed. Yeah.
I'll admit it. And we got DDT. DDT's hanging out a little bit before the show here. And of course, we got Alexandra G. We can't forget Alexandra. And anybody else? Did I miss anybody? Our Poe Man.
Randy. Yeah, we got Poe Man. Yeah. Good to see you guys.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And I hear Tony's got some colossal news, maybe a colossal announcement for us.
Oh.
Are you ready for Weekend at Billy's? Everybody, oh, look, you can see part of my screen here. I got to move that. So if you're ready for Weekend at Billy's, we're going to be out there. I'm going to share my screen a little bit. We're going to be in Greenville, out visiting Billy. And one of our lucky winners, if you are an Easter egg holder, we're going to have a drawing on April 15th, which will be Tuesday during our normal X space time, so 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a drawing that night from our Easter egg winner, the Easter egg holders from our NFT project. So if you're an Easter egg holder, we're going to do a last call. Sunday the 13th will be the last time. You don't want to move your NFTs from your wallets after that date, but you can still pick up some NFTs. There's still several Easter eggs available, and 3 of the Easter eggs actually, if you have Chapter 9 Easter eggs, that's a $500 or 500 USDC win right there. So for each one of those, there's $500. And so let me share with you a little bit, like right here, you can see the Fall for Greenville event. That's one of the days on Saturday. We're going to go to this event, a whole bunch of live music, food, beers, drinks, other types of stuff. So that's going to be a fun time when we go. And so one lucky winner is going to be able to come on that trip with us. And we're going to do that wheel spin on April 15th. And so we got some more good news. We have Amy Lives Crypto. Here's her channel there if you want to follow her. But Amy Lives Crypto has said just about a month ago when she was on stream with us that she wants to give away her Bitcoin conference ticket to our community. And so we've already confirmed that with her today. We're going to figure out what day we're going to do that. But you want to be an NFT holder. It can be either the speaker pass holder or the book holder. If you're an NFT holder of the Billy Goat Tales NFTs, then you will be entered into be able to win this Bitcoin conference ticket. Now we'll want to make sure that you can go and that you're willing to go. So we might do some confirmation there to make sure that people that are willing to go and can make it out will use it, because we don't want it to go to waste. But Amy was gracious to be able to give that to our community, and we know that we're praying for her to have safety, and for her and her baby to be healthy when the baby is ready to come into this world and is minted. And that's supposed to be right around the conference, which is why she's giving it away. So those are a couple things. This is where you can get our NFT if you don't know already. You can go to our website, billygoattales.io. And then over here on the more section, or depending on how your layout is on your, whether it's on your phone or your screen, you click here, you can go to, you come over to this page and there's an official mint site. So this is the best way to go to make sure you hit the right link, is go to our official website, click on the official mint site. You can go using a Cardano wallet and you can mint an NFT. Once again, aside from all these giveaways that we're doing, the NFT book covered 30 weeks of our X Spaces, and even just the content in it is very, very valuable. We've had a couple spaces that continue to do like a 1-year recap. We've done a 1-year refresh of the strength of community, power of persistence, taking action. And so we'll continue to do those as we go through this process. But we look forward to having one of you join us in October. I believe it was October 10th through the 12th, or something like 10th through the 13th. I know it was on the video announcement that we had that Dave put up there here for us. But we look forward to having that time with you all and spending it with you. And so excited to have those announcements. Not only will we be able to see you at Bitcoin, if you win that Bitcoin conference ticket, and we'll love to see you on our vacation. So,
and I'll just add that it's a lake house trip getaway, right? So we started this because we want to make sure that our NFT has value. You just don't pay 25 ADA and then it goes to zero and it's worthless, right? So what we're going to do is we're giving away prizes at different times. We're giving away the trip. We're rolling in some other things, such as Amy's Bitcoin ticket. So as we keep building it out, we're going to pack that thing full. All you got to do is just hold it. Just hold one. Just hold it. You don't have to do anything else. Come to the stream. We're going to announce different things at different times, just like we did this. But it's a cool lake house. I've stayed there 4 or 5 times. It's right on the lake. We're going to have a pontoon boat. We're going to cruise on the Lake Hartwell, and we're going to be able to go down to the Fall for Greenville. It's a foodie event. It's the Taste of Greenville. They have 4 or 5 different stages, as Bob Mex was saying, and it's a good time. I've been to it several times. It's really a cool trip. So looking forward to that. Didn't want to cut you off. Just wanted to kind of add to the flavor a little bit, Tony.
Yeah, sure thing. And of course, if you have the NFT already, you should be able to log into our book platform. You can get to it right here in the same section. You click on that book reader and it will take you to the book platform. You connect your Cardano wallet, boom, you can jump in and start reading it, whether it's on your phone or your desktop, and continue to enjoy the book. So, all right. Well, Redman, are you ready for some crypto bubbles?
All right, guys. So here's the bubbles. On the 1 hour, as you can see, we're still healthy from this morning's pump. A lot of green out there. A couple red, XDC and Trump, of course. And we got HBAR, Juke on the red. But we'll see what happens. In the daily, of course, it's all green because of this morning. The whole market pumped. So far, we're having a pretty good day. Great day for ADA. Great day for XRP. Great day for, well, Trump, I guess, on the daily is doing really well. Pi's down 15%. Maker's down 5.8%. That's pretty much it for that one. The weekly, wow. The weekly pulse. Richard Hart making a comeback. He's coming back from the dead, guys. Cardano's up 36% for the week. That's great. And then there's IP And this one is intellectual property. It's another agentic platform that's out there, along with HBAR 25% and Barachain. Barachain 27%, pretty good there. Let's look at the monthly real quick. Mostly red because we're still trying to recover from those, pretty much 2 months of nothing but red. But as you can see here, I mean, Mantra has gone from 50 cents. Well, I won't show it in here, but it went from $4.63 all the way up to $8, and that's because they got their certification out there in Dubai. And then there's Maker at 46% or 38% for the month, pretty good. On the yearly, Virtual, Mantra, XRP, killing it. So, and then we'll go to now this is interesting because I don't know why Bitcoin is the biggest bubble on here, because it hasn't gained more than XRP this year, or even ETH for that matter. But it's the biggest bubble on here, and that just tells you one thing: Bitcoin is king daddy, baby. All right, Billy, I'll send it back over to you.
Well, also with the Hex Pulse, the SEC dropped the lawsuit against Richard Hart, so that helped pump that thing up a little bit, which was cool to see. I mean, they dropped several lawsuits. I think I have it, and I know we didn't talk about this, guys, but I'm pretty sure. I thought I had a little note but it was like all the major ones. Pretty much, they've dropped the lawsuits on those, so it was great for the space. They dropped Tornado Cash, they dropped the Coinbase, they dropped Gemini, the Uniswap, the BlockFi, the Robinhood, and Richard Hart. I mean, and others. So gone. New administration dropped them. So that was great to see. Let's move into the crypto or the coin market update. Dave, I'll get the. Yeah, so we're at 3.13 trillion, which is almost 11% up. Bitcoin dominance dropping a little bit, 59.46. And look at that fear and greed, man. I like seeing fear and greed at 22 and a bull run. I just hope everybody's getting a piece of this over this last month with the pullback, that you stay true to your thesis and your convictions, and you're buying that dip. As we move down here, of course, Bitcoin is granddaddy, as you were saying, Red Man, but it's at, let me just refresh this, make sure I'm good here. 94,310, which is great, up 9.6% on the, it's down 1.46 on the 7-day, which, hey, after what we saw, we'll take that, right, guys? We'll take that. So, and Ethereum, I did jump in and bought 2 ETH this morning. Glad I did that, but it is down almost not quite 10% on the 7-day. And the big one, of course, ISO coin, XRP, up 12.87% on the 7-day, 31.58% on the 24-hour. Gotta like that. Solana, man, I was eyeballing Solana at, what was it, $1.37 last night. I think if you go back and look, I think it was like either $1.34 or $1.37. And I was like, man, should I get some more Solana? I wish I would have. I didn't, but it's up 4.65 for the 7-day. And BNB is at $620.76. It's up 2% on the 24-hour move. And the next big one, Cardano, Cardano. Love it. 37.33% on the 7-day, 56% on the 24-hour. And that's actually down a little. I think it went up to, 115, 116. I think it was in the 60-some% gain. So, but it is moving back up. Dave and I was, before the stream, doing some trading and waiting to get in at the right time on some of these trades. And let's see, HBAR for 7 days, guys, up 26.87%. Another ISO coin, another real world utility type of coin. Chainlink starting to come back. 14.29% on the 24 hours, still down 1.49 on the week. Stellar XLM, another ISO, up almost 10% in the 24 hour. SUI gaining a little traction as well, 12.28. We have a lot of SUI fans. We know a lot of people are banking on SUI, doing some great things as we move forward. So yeah, man, it's all positive, it's all good, and liking what I'm seeing for sure there, guys. Let me stop sharing that. What do you guys? Well, I don't want to get off script here. We do have a little bit of an outline, but what do you guys think about the overall market conditions right now, today, in the last few hours?
Pretty nuts. I mean, that's the tweet we've been waiting for. I think, we see some checks going out to people. We ain't seen nothing yet, and it's gonna melt faces if that happens. But I'm cautious. That's a huge move. See if it can sustain. It'll be interesting to see what happens overnight and into tomorrow as the rest of the world wakes up.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll
Jimmy.
see, but that might have been the fuse we needed lit.
I hope it. I think we all hope it is, right? We all hope it is for sure. Let's see. What are we going to do now? Oh, Dave, why don't you say hi to chat? We got some new people in here. I want to make sure we throw you in here. Dave's like, let me get off the phone, Billy.
Let's go see who we got in the chat. You see, we got Andy in there holding it down with the wrench. Tex-Mex Biomex over there hanging out. My ninjas holding it down. He's saying rare earths are hot. Got to give me some cobalt. Odd. Inflation fell off a cliff is what Poman is saying. We've got Cameron Bond. Yo. We got Alexander G. Let me see. Jesse, of course, out there holding it down with the wrench. Darren does things in the chat and in backstage. And I think that pretty much rounds it off. Of course, Mike Bulmer. We said, hey, Mike, earlier. So that's pretty much everybody in there.
Yeah. All right, man. Just want to make sure we're saying hey to the chat because we love you guys. We appreciate you being here, spending your Sunday with us. You could be anywhere, but you're spending it with us. We appreciate it. So, is it time for DDT already? Let's bring up DDT's in the building. What's going on, Darren?
Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
We got you, bro.
Yeah, I've got backlights. I'm looking all bright in the back. Eventually, slowly getting the streaming set up a bit better. So yeah, all good. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope a few people at least caught some of the longs from the bottom. I'm just trying to figure out why I cannot see my CME gap on my chart, but everyone knows it's there. I just don't know which chart it's on. But anyway, should I share?
Yeah, let's share it up. So what we want to hit today is Bitcoin, Solana, ADA, and XRP because those are the movers today. I'm sure everybody in here is interested in going over a little technical analysis with DDT.
Okay, so is that your chart?
Yeah, we'll share it.
Let's see if that works. Okay, sorry, it is going to be a bit of a mess and a bit of a whistle stop. But so for the most part, we had a little bit of a daily, just to kind of recap a little bit, daily divergence here brought us down. We were in this range, that range there, rejected the POC there the other week, came down. We've deviated now below the main value area low, and now we've actually reclaimed it. But where we stopped, I don't know why my CME gap just disappeared, but I had a CME gap on one of my charts. But anyway, we hit about 50, maybe to 75% of the CME gap. CME gap goes down to 77,000, fully filled. That was the CME gap from the inauguration. around the time that Trump won the election results. So the CME gap sits like there somewhere, and obviously we've bounced into it. I don't know where I've done it with my chart, sorry, but so yeah, for the most part we went there. At this point as well, when we were coming down on the the drawings. So when we were coming down on the 4 hour, something we were looking for in Frankie's Discord in the premium was this 4 hour bullish divergence. So it was one thing I was looking for. So initially we had for Bitcoin we had a lower low or lower high, lower low, sorry, high low. So that we had one drive of bullish divergence, 4 hour, and we got the second one there. So generally when you start stacking bull divs, specifically on high time frames, that's normally a good indication that price may reverse or be looking to find a local bottom. Local bottom could obviously mean a lower high, going into a lower high to then make a new lower low. But obviously that's not the case. We had the news today, and we have kind of pumped up. But that being said as well, if I take all the CME stuff off, all my just weekend price action stuff off, and I can actually take, let's just take all of that off for now, put this all back. And then, so yeah, Bitcoin, for the most part, we had a small range here on the side. Maybe I showed it last week. We had this range here to the left. We obviously just range, bing bong, barely just dropped through it on this big dump, Binance, Wintermute, call it manipulation, call it what you want, mass capitulation. So we dropped through the small range. After we dropped out the big range, we've deviated. We've basically had a kind of elongated SFP out of this range and obviously moved up. So you could think of it as a failed auction, which is a kind of a longer time swing failure pattern. But the 4 hour bull dips was basically kind of signaling to me that they could have a reversal or at least a low to put in either another lower high or obviously move out. So yeah, daily, this is 4 hour. One thing as well, we have a super long, where is it from? Yeah, there's like a super long hidden daily bullish divergence as well. So obviously price is making a high, and obviously you got lower high on your market cipher B. So for the most part, that's that range. And then yeah, so if we look at this one quickly, not those ones. Yeah, so if we look at kind of the macro range now, yeah, we're just back in the macro range. So for the most part, all we need to do is kind of hold 92, and then yeah, we're back to ranging again. So kind of Bitcoin, the hold 91.8 value area low, if that range. And yeah, so basically this is just a deviation of the big range in kind of shortened summation.
So 91.8's the value area low.
Yes, the value area low of this macro range, kind of before we fell over.
Right.
So like to the, yeah, call it to the 24th of February.
Right. What's the value area high up there? What's that number?
103,200.
103,200. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if we now come back there, then obviously we going to go back to 97 POC. There's smaller range in between there, but for the most part, yeah, we back to this macro range. So back to square one again.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So there's not really much more to go. Obviously, we could just kind of carry on straight up without even having any reversals or any kind of retraces. But for the most part, yeah, just going to see what happens. I'm not, obviously I got along at about 80,000. So yeah, I've caught kind of some of the move from the bottom, and yeah, have two shorts still in profit for now. But if I round trip them, I've got the long to kind of counter that.
Nice.
So yeah, Bitcoin's not really all that much. Obviously, we've got to see how Asia wakes up to this news of these this executive orders and these strategic reserves that Trump has signed. So yeah, that for the most part. Now, obviously, we just watch kind of and see. There is another local. Oh, it's 91. So there's another level at about 92.5 that kind of could be hold as well. But obviously, I just want to try and keep my charts neat for you guys. Don't kind of confuse too much. But it's basically just back to range trading for now. Then on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What do
that's
you got up
Bitcoin.
for us next? Solana or ADA?
Let's do XRP.
XRP? Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So XRP is basically just obviously it had from this 50-cent move up. That was just I think the SEC dropping the case. Hella eat up, started to range on the daily. From the top, it had a daily bearish divergence, same like most coins. Daily was bearishly diverging, came down. It's just basically worked its way through this range volume profile, and obviously what it's done, it had some liquidity there, so obviously that wick took out all of that liquidity. And then generally what you can say as well, with these huge wicks, you normally come back to fill at least 50% of them. So, or in general, can fill a bit, can fill 100% of them. So all of this wick here has done is filled that, but also as well, it's come back into the volume profile. It's wicked below the volume profile and still closed above the value area low of about $2.14. And then today it's just at like a 30% candle. So sorry. So for the most part, all we are looking for in XRP now. It's basically at a 786.
Look at that candle. Gotta love that candle.
It's at a 786, basically value area low. There's naked weekly POC just above it, tapped weekly level that's just hit. So it's not unlikely that it does have a retrace. And obviously it tapped this weekly level and just reversed. So, and also as well, there could be a small range up here if you actually wanted to look at it in a high time frame. Just want to pull now. Come on, quick. So it's basically hitting this little level here. It's got a value area low, 786 weekly levels. So it's it's hit resistance basically. Not unlikely as well that it ranges as well. So it's the same thing as Bitcoin coming back down. Obviously, your next level to the low downside is 274, and then obviously you have the POC at about 240. So also range trading, which is okay for now. I don't. Obviously, everyone wants price to kind of eat up and stuff, but for the most part, I think we'll be ranging in these for the next few months with these kind of candles in between as soon as we get tweets. So for the most part, that's basically it on XRP. So look for between. Oh, you could probably. Yeah, the POC is going to be so like 245 to 250 is probably your zone on XRP. If it comes down, obviously first level to hold is 274. So it can come down and then go up, or otherwise it will, and then obviously can come back up. So full range trade, it can come and just do the whole kind of this whole profile all over again.
Yep.
So yeah, that's XRP. So like
On a side note on XRP, if you guys were in the Frankie Candles live stream somewhere around a week, 10 days ago, Golden super chatted and he said that he is selling 10% of his Bitcoin and he put it into XRP. And it was a very legitimate tweet or super chat. So he was being very serious because he heard some XRP Swift news. So he was very timely with his trade.
And Golden, we know Golden, he's big dog in Bitcoin. So that was a major statement for sure. So what do we got on? What's next? Solana?
But also as well, just quickly as well, as same thing, like obviously Bitcoin didn't daily diverge, but XRP did daily bullish divergence. Obviously had the 4 hours as well. So
Nice.
4 hours diverging and obviously daily. So the altcoins or the altcoins that had bottomed a lot were doing pretty much similar kind of price action to Bitcoin. So into Cardano, what did Cardano do? It just basically came down to the level it needed to hold. So obviously, I think the same thing. It might have had a daily divergence. Kind of was rounding out on the daily, came down. Money flow was coming down. hit the value area high here at like 115, basically where it's rejected now. And then, yeah, came down all the way to the hole. And then obviously there's a small range here, obviously to the right-hand side, to the left-hand side, volume profile. What it's done, obviously this 66 cents was key to hold, but it came down to the POC, which is about 60 cents. Daily divergence, eats up 4-hour diverging as well. So basically, it's the same play on everything. All these strong coins that literally bounced all had kind of daily, or the altcoins specifically had daily divergences. Bitcoin didn't. Bitcoin had the 4 hours and probably 8-hour kind of upwards, not the daily, but daily divergence. It's come up. And yeah, it's at this value area high of this upper range now at like 115, 116. It's now rejecting this POC, so it's not unlikely that it does just the same thing like XRP and Bitcoin. It'll probably range trade in this range. So anything from like 91 cents to 115, 116. But because it's already a daily candle and it's wicking the value area high and the POC rejection, I presume it's going to come back down, and then obviously just do a range trade. And then that's XRP.
What do you think it's going to come back down to on ADA?
80 key level to hold now is 91 cents.
91.
But probably you say $1. $1 is probably a psychological level. So it hits that, then that's probably kind of where. But there's a whole lot of kind of levels here. So anything from 91 cents up to $1 is probably where it needs to hold. And then obviously it's hitting resistance now. So it's not unlikely, same thing with XRP and Bitcoin, that they get small retracements and kind of just range for a bit until we get more volume. And obviously New York session tomorrow has to digest. And obviously Asia coming in a bit later has to digest kind of this news and stuff. So it's more than likely, just range out. But money flow as well, still in the red. But we've got money flow. I obviously didn't mention on like Bitcoin XRP, but money flow is starting to curve up as well. But the longer time frame money flow does take a bit of time to kind of get in motion. So that's that one for the most part. So yeah.
Okay.
Solana, quick look when it gets there. So Solana, quick look. It came down to the key value area low. We have this. This was diverging quite badly. It had daily divergence, had the weekly divergence at the top, had the weekly bearish divergence at the top as well. So yeah, it came down, deviated this volume profile. This was the key volume profile to hold. It came all the way down, where quite a few altcoins like Cardano and XRP, they didn't even. Cardano had the range below it and hit the POC. This came all the way down, but obviously it's just FUD, and obviously everyone getting out of the XRP, the kind of Solana ecosystem, taking profits, or just because of the whole FUD on the meme coins and all that type of stuff. Capitulation. Hit the value area low at 126.7. It's bounced. It's not had a daily divergence, but it had the 4-hour divergences. Same like Bitcoin and all the other ones I've just mentioned. It's now done a full rotation of this range. It's on a full rotation. I'm on the 4 hour, so it's not even going to populate. It's on a full rotation of this range, this volume profile. It's now back above. So ideally what you want it to do to trade higher is you would want it to come down, test 160-ish, and then obviously you'd want it to come back into this profile here. But it's already starting to hit resistance, so it would need to come back to 160 and then still reclaim about 188, 190. So
nice.
So yeah, it's looking good. It's the same thing. So obviously pullback levels to hold. Obviously this POC is quite far down at this point, so you'd probably just want to Fibonacci. Probably a 382 if I put the 382 on. Where's the 382? Yeah, 382 is just below the value area high. So kind of for now, if you don't want it to fully capitulate again, then yeah, it needs to hold kind of in 160 to 166 for a bit more further upside. Otherwise, it's obviously going to then kind of worst case, it's not going to hold there. It's going to come there and we'll just do a whole range rotation of that 126, or could 166 to 126 range rotation again. But for the most part, I think all of a sudden we have a bit more of bullish news around. So for the most part, it's looking good that we'd probably range out now and then actually start building better bullish structure, because a lot of coins, specifically Solana, have been in quite a steep downtrend for the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it's been. So for the most part, the coins are all pretty, well, the ones I've looked at, basically doing all the same thing. So range out, find their ranges, create more balance, because obviously it's just been down. So it can't always just be down or just up, right? Price has to find balance kind of for everything. And kind of that's basically all this has done, really, is just got the coins back into balance, because they were undervalued, and now obviously it's got to a point where they're back in their balance. Kind of could be within all the different profiles, but for the different coins. But for the most part, kind of what I'm showing is just that it looks as if there's going to be a bit more normality with price action. But that being said as well, anyone could, the president could, or his PR people could just tweet and or send hysteria again. So could be a bit.
Never
fun.
know. Never know what can happen, man. It's something to follow for sure, So,
Yeah.
All right, DDT, feel free to stick around, man. We appreciate you going over the charts. We do have some great topics we're going to get into, but first, Redman, we're going to get into some research. You ready for that segment? You're on mute, bro. You're on mute. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so this section is Red's research here. This is in our Discord. You can access channel by owning Billy Goat Tales NFT. You will be verified, so you'll be able to. There's a couple coins in here right now. This one I'll show today. This is Shell. Obviously, this is on the 26th when I populated all this information here. So things have changed a little bit. But so let's just start off with this here. So Shell is a AI, basically an AI platform. It's actually an ecosystem where you can go in and build an AI agent on ETH. It's a decentralized AI platform that connects consumers, AI agent creators, and open source researchers. So the way this works is you can go into my Shell, you can create your agent, and then your agent can start revenue sharing. And the way it does that is you're selling whatever the agent services are on this platform through the store. We'll get into that a little bit later. There's a lot of big heavy hitters behind this. This is the competition to IP. This is the one I was talking about earlier on the bubbles. The IP story, the intellectual protocol. So this is the competition to that. And some of the big players in it are Dragonfly Capital, Binance Labs, Delphi Ventures, OKX, AI Agent Launchpad, Binance is in here, Binance Alpha Spotlight, AI Framework. And so they've already partnered with Infinity Ground. This partnership has to do with gaming. Now, gaming really hasn't lifted off in crypto yet, but when it does, this is one of the companies that I'm looking at, Infinity Ground. They're already starting to make moves with my Shell. And we all know that AI can be integrated into games and will be an integral part in the NPC feature in each game. So they go all out. They give you a tutorial on how to build the agent. And what's good about this tutorial is it shows you what your boundaries are in building an agent. Because when I was building agents, I didn't know what my boundaries were. I had no idea what the thing was capable of, what it's not capable of, or is it just a chat bot that just does web searches. Well, these are a little more intricate than just a chat bot. And this will show you in the tutorial. I've got the roadmap in here for you. I got a breakdown distribution and tokenomics in here for you. And just a couple of things to note with this coin. The ticker is Shell, HELL. It was dropped on February 14th, so it is a newer coin. It is a high inflation coin, but as we saw with SUI, as we saw with Aptos, high inflation doesn't really play that big of a part in price action. It didn't with Aptos, it didn't with SUI. Those coins actually performed pretty well. So I'm not scared to invest in a high inflation coin. If I have the unlock schedule, then I know what to look for. And it depends on your horizon of when you're going to be selling this coin in the long run. And then in here, I give you a little breakdown for AI creators. Shell offers premier compensation and advertising fees for exceptional AI agents. So if your AI agent was built and it's doing something that everybody wants and it's making money, it's going to make you money on this platform. So the Shell is the go-to payment. So they use the native token Shell on the platform. And then what I did was I gave you a little Shell can be traded on Uniswap version 3 and PancakeSwap. And the reason for that is not only is it on ETH, but it's also on BNB at the same time, which is good. I mean, you want the exposure on both layer ones. There's a better chance of good price action. And I just gave you a chart, and then I came back, revisited the chart later. This is the newest chart that I have. I put this up there yesterday. As you can see, we're in an accumulation pattern right here. Yes, it is new. It did come out on February 14th. It did witness a spike up and a big drop down, but this thing is accumulating. I mean, it gets down to this little trend line here and it bounces off. It's bounced off 1, 2, 3, 4. This to me is bullish. In the long run, this is bullish. This is what I want to see. VCs holding the coin and not dumping on retail, or not yet anyways. But you're still going to be fairly new getting into this coin, which of course is not financial advice. And this is a highly speculative coin, just like the AR market is highly speculative. So invest at your own risk. With that, Billy, I'll send it back over to you.
Yeah, man. No, that's great new information on new coins. And of course, we're just exposing everybody to it. If they're interested, they're interested. Not financial advice. And let's say hello to the chat again, because I see Crabman's in the house. What's going on, Crabman? K Dig, good to see you. I saw some other people, and Jay Violet came all the way in. Good morning to you, Jay Violet. We appreciate you. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Of course, K Dig. K Dig's always lurking around with us. He knows it. He knows how we do it here. So good to see all you guys. We have YouTube here, so we appreciate that. Just one announcement. This Tuesday on our X Space, we have Crypto Lifer on Life, and that is going to be just all about everything besides trading. Now it's Lifer, so I'm sure he's going to talk some trading in there, but we're just going to go over life in general. All the 10 cornerstones. Grab a microphone, come up, ask questions, interact. Let's just chill out, talk about life in general and principles of life, things like persistence, taking action, how to win friends and influence people, how to get rich slow, how to dollar cost average, financial stuff, fun stuff, life stuff. So that's Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our X Space. So that's our standing time with the X Space. So we appreciate that. Now we're going to get into some good stuff. This is what the thumbnail is all about. So we kind of saved the best for the second hour of what we're doing. Just because there's been some great news just some awesome news. We've seen all these candle pumps, right? If you're holding, you're pretty happy of what's going on. I know I'm pretty happy what's going on. And of course, the big one was the Trump tweet regarding the cryptocurrency reserve and Solana and XRP and Cardano. So wanted to open up that conversation, throw it around the horn here, see what you guys think. Everyone knows I'm big ADA guy, so my bags had been packed, and I basically, when everybody was buying that, I sold a big bag, waiting on the retrace to come back. Retwace, Jimmy, retwace. Waiting on the retwace to come back in. But also in my long-term bags, I still have Cardano, right? So this is in more of my swing trade, spot trading bag. I got a piece of that move, and it was a good piece. So, what do you guys think? What's the feeling with that whole tweet about the Bitcoin reserve? Kick it over to you, Dave.
To be honest, it caught me a little bit by surprise. You know, I don't think it was on my radar. I don't think anything. I was looking at a trade on Bitcoin short-term time frames, and we were at the value area low, and I was looking for my entry to get in, but I didn't get one. And then bang, next thing I know, I don't remember what it was, but I was listening to somebody and I heard him say, "Oh, what just happened?" And then so I looked over and there we are. We just got a big announcement. I'm also a little surprised that he's got Solana in there. I'm not surprised with XRP. I'm not as surprised with Cardano because Hosky's over there, shouldering it up with them, shoulder to shoulder. But I am a little bit surprised about Solana. Just I didn't realize, maybe it's because of his meme connection, but I'm not sure. Maybe he's worked with those guys and his kids have worked with them, and so maybe they have a closer relationship than I expected.
Yeah. I had a sneaky suspicion since all the activity from the Trump family on Solana that, I thought. So I did, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I did buy a little more Solana just because I was thinking it might be a good buy. So, and during the dip, right? Everything was dipping. So I thought it'd be, from a macro level, a good time to buy as well. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, probably the low-hanging fruit. I mean, if the U.S. is legitimately building a portfolio, they're definitely not going to limit it to the 5 or 6 that were named. So, I mean, I feel good about, the overall direction. I don't know how sustained this pump is going to be, but, I'm hoping they're being very strategic about announcements. We know there were other meetings had with other projects, and I think the list is going to continue. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen, but it can happen fast enough. I can say that.
I think the meeting is on the 7th. Is that right, Dave? I think we had that pulled up, or we had that listed. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens.
The meeting, you mean the crypto summit, the White House crypto summit?
Yeah, the White House Crypto Summit, which is all part of this, right? I mean, it's all part of the same topics, kind of two separate Google Trends, but really the pump with the Trump tweet, you have the meeting coming up, it's all talking about the same kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be nothing but positive for crypto.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to bet on it, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think his tweets may end up being a roadmap for what is alt season. So I think we just pay close attention to what he's looking at and what he's talking about. And I think that may outline what our alt season is. Maybe there's a few outliers like SNEC and things like that are connected to the ones that he names. But I think this is going to map our alt season. So if we want to know when our alt season is coming and what's going to be involved in it, I think we look at this list and we make the connections.
Yeah. Tony, you still with us, man?
I sure am.
Oh, dude, I thought you had this. I'm glad you're here, bro. So what are you thinking about this whole thing?
Well, tell me what thing you're talking about.
Oh, you were in the background working. I didn't.
I
We
was in the
busted him.
background
We
working.
busted him. We got him. We got him. We got him. We got him.
You busted me. Yeah, I was writing a message on X to someone who asked to be on our space.
No, you're always working, man. We know it. No, so we're talking about the Trump tweet and how it pumped the markets, and along with the meeting, the upcoming meeting.
So you're talking about the strategic up reserve? Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I don't know how the Bitcoin community is going to welcome it, because I know that at last year's Bitcoin conference, some people booed and some people cheered. But I think it's a good move for the country. And I think that it could be a good move for Bitcoin, obviously. And I think having this crypto summit coming up, I think that's a great thing. Obviously, he talked about being the first president to be pro crypto. And I know previously he wasn't, but then he started learning about it and started seeing the community, and now looking to maybe help to have a summit that can bring some of the best minds together. So I really hope that that is a really good event that does bring some of the best minds together and give people some knowledge within the government to help make some smart decisions. So I'm excited. I think it's a positive move. I'm still wondering in the back of my mind if there was some institutional FUD that kind of caused some of the drop this last week, and then so people could pick up the prices low and rise it up, just like yourself. And obviously in our chat, we had a poll earlier about 42% of people, they had some reserves on the side to buy crypto when it dipped this last week. And so obviously most people are in the green then if they did that.
Yeah, man, for sure.
But
What
thanks,
about you,
guys.
Rick?
I'm going to jump off. My
Okay.
neck is bothering
Okay.
me quite a bit. I'm sorry, fam. I'm jumping off a little earlier than normal, but love you guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Tex-Mex Biomax. Oh, we got to hit the Tex-Mex Biomax. Boom, 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 boom. Redman, what's your thoughts, man? Let's take it around the horn.
Yeah, so I think promises made, promises kept. I mean, he said he was gonna be in favor of America made crypto. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing here. I was on a space earlier today. There was a lot of coping going on. There was a lot of crying going on, and it was all the Bitcoin maxis crying about how he didn't mention Bitcoin. And then he came out, thankfully, he came out with the tweet 20 minutes later. I think somebody brought it to his attention that he didn't mention Bitcoin or ETH. So he came back out with another tweet and said, I love Bitcoin and ETH too. And hopefully that put to sleep some of those maxis in there that were crying about how Bitcoin wasn't part of the conversation. For those of us in crypto, we've been here for a while. We were expecting it, right? We had heard rumblings and rumors. Nothing was actually confirmed. Well, here's your confirmation. Here's your sign. It's at your front doorstep. And do what you will with that information, but I think it's looking pretty bullish for the ADA, Solana, XRP crowd. Pretty bullish. And we saw that in the charts. And when you see those humongous green candles, the TA kind of goes out the window for a little bit, and so I don't know. I'm half on the fence. I'm half off the fence. Do we go up from here? Do we get a retest? Do we just do the Trump dump on Monday? I'm neither here nor there, but I think in the long run, sticking with these ISO coins it's still a gamble. It's still a bet, but I think it's a little better bet than it was even a month ago.
Yeah, Billy and I were talking about that too before the stream, because we were pointing out that he didn't say anything about Bitcoin or ETH. And then as we went on in our pre-stream meeting, eventually we saw a new tweet that was, okay, I did mean ETH and Bitcoin too. But that was interesting at first. But here's what I'm thinking. So if Trump's doing this, that's the tippity top. Or tippity, not top, tippity bottom. That's the very, very beginning is what I'm saying. If Trump is doing this, that leads every other nation to copy. There's nothing that they don't copy that we do that they don't copy. And whenever you start to look at it. So that could be, we could begin a crypto type race.
Yeah. For everybody in our communities and all the communities that we serve, we we deserve it, man. We put in the time. It'd be great to have just a massive super cycle, as people have called for. So all of us that have put our blood, sweat, and tears and belief into the ethos of Bitcoin and crypto, that we actually are in front of the train and getting a great payday for it. That'd make my heart warm, man. That'd make me so happy, just because I know everybody's just in this, man. We're in it together. We're in it. We're in crypto. We are crypto people. We want to see this happen, doggone it. So it'd be awesome. But you're right, Dave. United States leads the world, right? So politics aside, we lead the world, right? So what we do, everybody else does. The cowbell builder and home building, we call it the cowbell builder. When the big dog moves in the home building industry, the rest of them follow. And so we're moving for sure.
Yeah,
in
let's
crypto.
get back to you, Billy. So a lot of people are talking now, or the conversation is now coming back up, $500,000 Bitcoin. What are your thoughts?
I would love that. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not banking on that. That's not part of my thesis. That's not part of my strategy. My strategy, personally, not financial advice, you guys do what you need to do for yourselves, but my strategy is just to keep accumulating Bitcoin. So if by chance it would go to $500,000, I probably wouldn't sell it. And you can do the math and say, well, Billy, if you would have sold it at, close there and wait for the bear market and then rebuy and just put your money in USDC and stake it, make your 4%, 5%, you would make more money doing it that. And I agree with that. However, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
People are saying these cycles are over, that things are changing, like the bare minimums. Will we ever see $50,000, $60,000 Bitcoin again? It's like, I just want to hold my Bitcoin because I'm more in it for the long term. Now trading, it'd be fun. It'd be fun trading wise, seeing rips like that,
Yeah, and that's what Crypto Princess says.
$500,000 is not happening.
Yeah. Jimmy says not happening. Not
And
happening.
by not happening, do you mean not happening in 2025?
No, I
or do you
think
mean it's
this-
never happening.
Well, no, yeah, no, I'm not gonna say never happening, but I mean, I think this news just kind of puts that 120, 180, kind of what I've been saying for a while back on the table. Because a month ago, I sure as hell was I was not thinking thoughts like that, but I think 500's out there. I mean, y'all can call me wrong on that one if it happens. I'll gladly take the hit there. But I still think 120, 180. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, even with some $5,000 checks going out there, everyone. I mean, we got to still look at the world, man. I mean, everybody's still strapped, eggs, $400, I mean, everything still costs a lot. So, I think this big move was, call it manipulation. I mean, the shit went down for a week straight. And then I didn't look and see what the market cap was yesterday afternoon to what it is today, but I don't think that's retail. I mean, I think that was institutional money making a one last ditch opportunity before that announcement came out, honestly.
Yeah. It's going to be certainly interesting to see what happens these next few weeks. It's been a tough month, February.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody, as far as their long-term bags, we're stacking, it's a belief, right? So if you have the belief that the cycle's still intact and these good utility coins are going to be the ones to own, then you're doing fairly well right now. I am glad that the meme season is kind of transitioning to these full-on real world assets and utility coins. I'm happy to see that myself.
I mean, has it really with Farcoin up like 100%, 90%?
Yeah, just you're not seeing the creation of them at the same volume that you were. So it's like a recession. You don't know when you're in it until you're out of it, and then you can look back and say, okay, but you can kind of feel it, and you definitely volume wise. So yeah, I don't know if it's like the end, Dave, but certainly a move to real world assets and better utility plays is happening right in front of our noses. Is my opinion. That's my opinion.
And so how much of each of these assets do you
Yeah, and
think
I
they're going
mean,
to buy?
What's that? I didn't hear that, Dave.
How much do you think they're going to buy of these assets? Or do you think they've already bought? Do you think they're laddering in? What do you think their plan is? I mean, are they going to buy basically everything that retail's already bought? Are they going to quickly double market caps? What's going to happen?
Oh, as far as the government buys, I don't know. I would say there's probably some rules around that. Definitely the summit, I think, is going to all those players are going to be there, and I'm sure they're going to hammer out some of the fine details like that. But ultimately, it's good for crypto. Ultimately, it's good for Solana. It's good for XRP. It's good for ADA. It's good for ETH. It's good for Bitcoin. It's got to create some buy pressure for sure. It's just buy pressure, right? So, but do I know that for a fact? No, but my thesis is I'm banking on that. I'm certainly banking on that for myself. Absolutely, I'm banking on that. What was you going to say, Jimmy?
I don't remember.
Sorry.
Well, I think Billy and Jimmy, if I'm cutting you off, tell me I'm cutting you off. But
No, you're good. Go, Red.
I think the government buying crypto is bringing legitimacy to the market. And I believe that, yeah, I believe that now you're moving. Go ahead, Jimmy, say it.
I was just going to say that, bear market, or I should say, bull markets don't end where the fear and greed index is right now. I mean, and it ends on euphoria, right? I mean, that's, and I've always said it, Bitcoin is my barometer, I mean, until we see the big move, which we've seen a pretty big move, but I think everybody's in agreement that that's not the move, that's not the final, countdown that's going to trickle into some resemblance of an alt season. What that's going to look like this time, who knows, because, we've got so many projects now, but, I always kept it, even over the last month when I was like, man, I'm half tempted to just move everything in the Bitcoin and just quit worrying, but, no, stay the course. You've already put in 2.5, 3 years of building the bags that you've built. And then boom, this happens. I'd probably be pretty upset right now if I would have made that move. And then today happens, right? I mean, just a new door swings open that is going to increase all kinds of chances of crazy stuff happening, right? I mean, you need things like this happening during the bull run to really, get those 20% across the market swings. So yeah, I'm just really interested to see what happens this week. Much like with the election, that started something off in motion. We've been cooling off here over the last month. I mean, hopefully this is that next leg up. I'm very hopeful that that's the case, because I know I've done a lot of worrying and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears positioning myself to where I am today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's we got Wick 589. It's coming, Wick. We long-term holders, you know that. And Wifey, good to see you, Wifey. Appreciate you. Who else do we have? Any Penny, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. on a Sunday afternoon with Billy Goat Tales. And of course, Rusty bought our first emoji when we get there. We got to get 1,000 subscribers. We're slowly inching up there. But when we get there, Rusty's going to have the very first Billy Goat Tales emoji with the WD-40 can, because we got to keep Rusty moving around for us. Got to keep him nice and lubed up, Jimmy. Well, every time I say that, I know you smile. So you got to keep Rusty. Got to keep Rusty
excited.
Yeah, well, I like Rusty. He's OG, man. Rusty's OG. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. And you know, I was lucky enough to be at a home builders conference in Vegas and visit the Sin City boys. Our brother and Rocco, I saw you in there. Don't know if you're still with us or not. It was great to see you. Appreciate hanging out with you. We had some great lunch with the Sin City boys afterwards, and they got to meet some of my home building team as well, which was really cool. Kind of share the two worlds, home building industry and crypto. So that was pretty cool. But Sin City Crypto opened their club with me in the studio, and it was awesome. It was just great that it worked out. That's the day that I was there.
The disrespect.
Jimmy, they wanted you there so bad. Trust me, they did. Like behind the scenes,
I
like,
know.
it'd be perfect
Rob
if Jimmy was
texting me
here.
ahead of time. You're gonna be there today, right? You're gonna be in there. Billy's here. I was like, I know Billy's there. I know what you're up to. But yeah, that was good to see it back open. Good to see Trump lifted all the boycotts and tariffs on super chats.
So I see these chats in here. Open the club, open the club, open the club. And it looks like Alex O jumped in as well. Good to see you, my friend, Alex O Crypto. So, Jimmy, you the Sin City OG. I'm gonna leave that decision up to you. Well, so full disclosure, we were opening the club at Billy Goat Tales because their club has been under construction for months. And Jimmy and I kept chatting, open the club, and they just didn't open the club. So the community said, let's open the club at Billy Goat Tales. So that is a Sin City hallmark. And I don't want anybody thinking we're stealing thunders, but we love those guys. What do you think, Jimmy? You think we should open the club?
I say spin it, Dave.
Dave was over there breakdancing, Dave. That's always fun, man. Much respect. Does Rocco make it in? Knoxville, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. I'll be up there in a couple weeks. We'll have to go back to lunch again.
They ain't got no patent on the club. That's all I'm saying.
I know, man. No patent on the club. All right, what else of course we want to talk the Ukraine deal, man. Just it's just big news, right? Really not that much about crypto, but just news with the press conferences. Like everybody had an opinion on that. It seemed like it's just blowing up everywhere. I watched it. My take on it is, it's unfortunate situation. But really, Zelensky wanted to hear that he was going to have security backed by the United States. It's all about the security. And seemed like Trump didn't want. He basically was saying, "Let's get this raw earth deal signed, and we'll talk about what that looks like at a second meeting." And it just seemed like that those two just didn't want it to come out like that, right? It was like Trump had one way, Zelensky had another way, and it felt like one of the things that was a takeaway for me. Some of where the rare earth is at, Russia already has that territory of the Ukraine. So, like, Trump would have to discuss that because it's occupied. Where the best rare earth is, a big section of it is where it's already occupied by Russia in Ukraine. So there would have to be continued negotiation. I just thought it got out of hand, basically. But if you really peel back the onion and see the chess match that was going on there, I respected that because you had two people there that didn't want to give up what was important to them. And you got to see it kind of play out, which I thought was a little unfortunate. But that's my overall take. What's yours, Jim?
I mean, personally, I think Zelensky showed up playing checkers, and DC was playing chess on that move, to be completely honest. I mean, if you push back, I think what you saw on the media wasn't the real underlying thing at play here. Zelensky wants into NATO. If they get into NATO, then it's every country's got to defend, whoever's under attack, right? So it's a way for him to shoo the U.S. into his war, and we don't want war. We want to end wars. So I think it was more of a play toward that. I think they kind of blew it up a little bit, for the media. But I think ultimately that's kind of what Zelensky wants. And, the U.S. doesn't want to be backed into that corner. I mean, that's, just kind of my takeaway from everything I have seen, that's been put out there.
Yeah, certainly. Like Trump said at the end, this is going to make good TV, and it did. It did make good TV. There's a lot of chatter across social media on it, and it just kind of went crazy. So that was interesting. A1, good to see you. Good to see your comment here. Zelensky wants Trump to say the U.S. would fight for them, but Trump does not show his hand like that. Yeah, man, absolutely. What do you think, Red Man? What's your thoughts on it?
So, I mean, I'm looking at the whole situation. I'm not just looking at that little tiff there in the Oval Office. Come on, man. We gave you $185 billion. We basically own you. And you're going to come in and you're going to say that we owe you more money. And not only that, the Russia's going to come for us next. And so I think Trump and Vance jumped all over that, and as well they should have. You're not going to come in my house and start making demands, and he's entitled to all this money, and it's just not going to happen. I think he's going to get a much worse deal when he comes back, Billy. It's unfortunate. He's putting his nation through a bunch of killing, a bunch of people are dying, and they're dying unnecessarily. He could have just came in. He could have said yes. He could have accepted what we were going to give him, and he would have gone home, and he would have been fine. But now, when he comes back, he's going to get much less. And this time, he's going to be starving because he will not be eating from the same table that he was eating from when he came here the first time to see Trump. And that's the way Trump works, is he's going to test you. And Zelensky got tested, and he failed. And the art of the deal is going to kick his butt, buddy. And it's unfortunate because it's unfortunate for the people that live in Ukraine because they've been going through war for the past, 3 years? They've been going through war.
3 years, yeah.
Or war torn. They're done. They can't even get people to join their military. They're going through the streets and grabbing people off the streets to put in their military to fight Russia. I mean, it's unfair. It's a bad situation for the people of Ukraine. It's a bad situation for the people of Russia. And Trump wants to end it. And I believe the best case is for Zelensky to work hand in hand with Trump and figure this out. If it's minerals, give us minerals. We gave you $185 billion. We got to get something out of that deal. So I understand where Trump's coming from. I didn't understand at all where Zelensky was coming from. That's just my personal opinion, but the way options were bad. So that's pretty much
What's your thoughts, Dave Digital?
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. Of course.
Okay, unpack
As
it.
a person, of course, as a person, I don't think I think that Zelensky crossed the line when he said, "Oh, you guys need to worry about the future." Like he was saying something ominous about us, and but just because we have oceans in between us and other people now, it won't be that way for long, is what he was saying. I think that was crossing the line. At the same time, I think that there was vibes of being bullied to him. You know, when Vance said, "Oh, you haven't told us thank you," you know, and I think that was a little bit. And I've been on both sides in the schoolyard of the bully situation. I think that was a little bit bullyish. Like, hey, he's about to punch you in the face if you don't say thank you. And I think that maybe since we do have such a strong position, I think maybe we pull that back a little bit, and we don't have to be as tough on that sense, but maybe we do. I'm not the guy that's trying to stop millions of people or however many hundreds of thousands of people from being killed. So I don't know, maybe there is time for being a little bit harsher and being a little bit of a bull. I don't know how it ever got in there that we're going to get their precious earth, but okay. I don't know. That was the first I heard about it, was that meeting that we were going in and we were about to get a pretty huge stockpile of I guess gems and things like that. So, okay.
Well, the rare earth is more of minerals that are needed in tech that we have, but not as abundant as
Like quartz and stuff, right?
Yeah, all different kinds of rare earth, different. I don't know all the technical, names for each kind of elements that they're talking about, but it's certainly abundant over there. And so, yeah, that was interesting. That was another angle that was very interesting. So, yeah. Well, since it was trending, and what we do here at Billy Goat Tales is we always talk about what's trending in the news. Most of it's crypto, but sometimes you get off on these side, what's happening in the global news, not necessarily in the crypto news. So we certainly wanted to at least see what the chat thought about it and bring it up and discuss it. A1, good to see you. Alexandra G, wifey, good to see all you. I don't know that Rocco made the club. I don't know that Rocco made the club, Jimmy. So, Wayne C, I see you put the plunger in there. Does that mean Jason Casper's in the house? But you put plunger in the house. That's Jason Casper. I don't see him, but if you're here, Jason, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, Billy Goat Tales. What else we got on the list to talk about, boys? We had the Bitcoin Summit. Oh, we also had the whole weird situation, more general news with Gene Hackman's death. That was kind of strange. What I didn't understand about that, and I loved his acting. I loved Gene Hackman shows, especially going all the way back to the Superman with Christopher Reeves in it and many others. But what's so strange, what struck me is, what is going on? If he had a bad heart, he had a pacemaker in, his wife was there, a dog was there. And if he had a heart attack, okay, and maybe they've been married long enough, and maybe the wife says, oh my goodness, I can't live without him. Maybe she decided, because they said that they found, open medicine there next to her or by her. But how did the dog die? It's just so strange. It's like, I'm like, this is a weird one, man. What do you think about that one, Jimmy?
Yeah, that definitely pegged out my weird crapometer for sure.
It's like, what?
I mean, I'm sure it's good. There's going to be some sense made of it, right? But that's always the fun part, right? You get these little tidbits of information, and then you start trying to piece your own story together. But yeah, I mean, I think what seems reasonable. I think she was possibly dead longer than he was, and she was his caregiver. I mean, it was his wife, but she was, he was 95. So I'm thinking something happened with her. He couldn't take care of himself. The old ticker stopped ticking. One dog, I mean, there was multiple dogs. One dog dead, other two alive. I mean, that's kind of weird. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but I was glad to know. I was laughing this morning. I woke up and the first news story that pops up on my Alexa screen was did not test positive for carbon monoxide poisoning. And I was like, wait a minute, y'all walked in there, pills on the floor, got a dead dog, 2 people been dead for a while, and your first action was test for carbon monoxide. I mean, glad we can rule that one out, because that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, I guess there was like a little space heater or something that would have.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Billy, I got a question for you real quick.
Yeah, Red.
Was the wife mummified in the bathtub?
No, I didn't hear that.
No, she was in the bed next to him. I think it was rigor mortis that set in, and it was reported as mummified.
Okay.
Yeah, because they coming out now and saying it appears that they had been dead for 4 or 5 days before they were found, right? So yeah, you have some stiff.
Well, and obviously he was dead from the 17th of February. That was the last time his ticker ticked.
That's
The
just
pacemaker went.
It's something crazy, man. It's like I can understand the husband and wife. I don't how'd the dog die? That's so weird. So interesting. French toasters in the house.
Movies.
Yeah, man. Melissa, my neighbor right down the road, I can probably, hey, Melissa, I can wave to you out the window. Good to see you. Who else do we have here? V-Son, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in on a Sunday afternoon with Billy Goat Tales. Cretan C, holy cow. Freaky Candles OG, Alex. Oh, Crypto OG.
Creighton just had a baby.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he's been missing in action.
Congratulations, Cretan, man. That's good to see you. Mark Dutchy, good morning to you over there. Hope you're wearing your clogs, my friend. I think I said hello to Katie. Who else we got here? And always good to see the best toasters are French toasters. The original pop-up notification French toaster in the house. Good to see you. So yeah, we kind of went over a whole bunch of crypto stuff. We're talking a little bit of just general news right now. We're just talking about the Gene Hackman death and situation. And Dave, did we get your opinion on that?
Well, I think Jimmy pretty much covered everything. I did want to just mention that his wife's name was Betsy. Of course, we mean all the respect to the families and everybody involved.
Absolutely.
But it does seem a little bit. It's odd to say the least. They didn't find any carbon monoxide poisoning. They didn't find any signs of any kind of pills, like you were saying, Billy, other than like an aspirin and some another typical medicine that an older person would take. And so it's a little sus. And then there was I don't remember who the actor was, but an actor from that same era also tweeted that this is Hollywood and that they suspect foul play. But that's just X. So it could be. I never even thought about the scenario like what Jimmy said, like that maybe she was taking care of him and then she passed and then nobody was there to take care of him anymore. But he's got kids and he's 95 years old. So to go 9 days without a kid or somebody calling you and checking up on you, I mean, it seems odd, man.
It's been a long
have
time
one of
since
the
we had
dogs
a good Hollywood foul play type story. Seems like they don't come out as often anymore.
Yeah, who done it? You know, like, or did somebody do it or not? I mean, maybe one of the other dogs got jealous. I didn't even know they had more than one dog. I just thought they had the one. And so maybe the other two dogs got jealous and they planned something like the Menendez brothers. I don't know.
We need Columbo. That's what we need. He'll solve
Yeah.
it every time, man.
Angela
Columbo will solve
Lansbury.
it every time. So, Red, you still have the bubbles? Can you pull those up? Because it looks like Dave, you probably got. What do you got? Ada in the back. You got Ada in the background. That looks like
No, I
I
got-
last look. It was a $1.09.
I've got HBAR back there, but I could pull Ada up. There's Ada. We're at 110.69.
Look at that.
So it still hasn't retested that VWAP, what we were talking about before the stream, Billy. So it's just still ranging right there. So if you pulled, I know you wanted to, we pulled that range from way back there so we could get this POC, but if we pulled a more local range, let's see here, if I can find where all my stuff is. The wrong one. I mean, it's broke out, retested, and now it may be, this may be the new leg up, because we wanted to take the value area or the, you know, remember we talked about, we wish that it would come down to the VWAP, give us a chance to come in, maybe even come down here to the value area low, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to retest, just retesting this POC, and it's going to take off. It's going to fill, it's going to take the high probably, and there's a long way that it could go. 181.
Oh, man, I'm seeing, it's not up on my screen, but I'm looking at some different Twitter X post, and there's all kinds of, you know, I don't know, I guess you call them projections going on, what people think. And I see Charles Hoskinson 7 hours ago said, he's going to get some rest today, and and Crypto Face is posting. There's a lot of posts here going on. A lot of posts on ADA happening. So yeah, it's happening. I mean, it's definitely creating a lot of social media hype with this. We'll see where it
1618.
goes. What's that?
1618 takes you to $1.80. And then you're looking at 250 and 325. And normally if we break these highs, all of that is in play. All of that is in play. But at the same time, nothing goes up in a straight line. So it would be healthier to come back down, test the VWAP, and then go back up, right? But you don't always get that.
Ideally.
Sometimes you just get a reset at the end of the day, and that's just the way it is.
I'm excited, man. This is going to be an interesting night.
Our weekly VWAP is down at 81 cents. So that would be healthy, but the weekly is even pointed up. So by the time that it gets to it, it could be well up here.
Nothing would make me happier than everybody in chat in our communities to get up in the morning and just smile from ear to ear because everything's just ripped, even double from where it is right now. That'd be awesome. Not Bitcoin, of course, but some of these alts, right? Some of the Solanas, the XRP, the ADA, ETH, some of the alts that they've named and said they're definitely going to be part of the strategic reserve. That would be just awesome for everybody because we're the crypto people. We're the guys in it. We've been putting blood, sweat, and tears. And I know Wick down there been accumulating XRP for years, and I want Wick to be right. I want him to be right on the money, man. That's what I'm hoping for. Mike Vollmer, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I don't know if I said hi to you. Wanted to make sure we said hi to you there. And what's Wick say? I just got freaked out watching a lot of Red Dawn as a kid. Remember Red Dawn? Come on, you're not that old, man. I remember watching Red
Greatest
Dawn as a
movie
kid.
ever made.
It really was, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's so weird, you know. You're like you can literally put yourself in the scene where you're looking out that old school room, and you're starting to see all these paratroopers come in the fields. You're just looking up in the air, and the whole
Commandos.
skies. That's just like crazy, because you could literally back then kind of see that you could envision that, you know, like this is what it would look like.
Yeah.
So Billy knows.
Great. The original, not the new one.
Yeah, not the new one. Yeah, the 80s back in the, I think it was 80s, right?
Active
Late
Swayze
80s?
all the way. Like 83.
Yeah, middle, yeah. Seems like I was still in high school, yeah. Back in the day. Cretan says, remember 3 days ago when a lot of people in the crypto suddenly hated Trump? Yeah, you know, it's gonna ebb and flow for sure. And yeah, if you guys aren't following Blocky too, salute to you, Blocky, my military guy, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you always coming in. We got to make sure we're following Blocky over there on his channel. Go support him. Follow Alex O Crypto, of course, and Frankie and Lifer and all of our family members. Sin City, Army Piper. We appreciate everybody. I guess Army Piper's. I texted him this morning. He's like, Billy, I'm on an airplane going to I don't know, Tahiti or somewhere. He's out on another vacation. Army Piper is. So I was like, man, I wish I could live the life of Army Piper. He said, well, when you retire, you can. I was like, I hear you, man. What else we got on the news? I know we're kind of running nicely on a little ahead of schedule. Let's take a look. Well, we had the Pepe pump this morning. So this morning when we got up on trending on Coinbase was Pepe. Pepe was trending as far as a big pump, but then that tweet came out and it kind of stole all the thunder from that nice Pepe move. I don't own any Pepe. And of course, along with that was the big HBAR move. HBAR looks like, let me look real quick. I got to read.
Well, Pepe has been taking it and getting its butt handed to it for a long time. So the pump on Pepe didn't move the needle. So if we look, I mean, Pepe is down significantly because it was one of the first ones to run, if you remember, when everything else wasn't running. So it's down 74% since its recent all-time highs. So there's a little bit of, you know, if you look down here at this little candle, it's way down here in the big scheme of things.
Yeah.
Way down there. So not as significant as what Bitcoin did, even though the percentage-wise it looks good. Pepe is still hurting.
In the gutter. It's a lot of people hurting with that one there. I'm glad I don't know.
With Doge, although Doge is starting to make a little bit of it's starting to do something, but they both hit those highs, you know, those recent highs, and then they just got their butts handed to them after that. But maybe this is a significant bottom, and maybe we can get a bounce back. Those would be good because I have, like, one of the banks that I have is an online bank called Current Bank, and there's ones that I can trade inside the bank account. So I can just use my regular old money to trade all of these coins you see over here. So there's some good ones in there. So I would like to see a bottom on Doge and Pepe. I would like to see even BNB hasn't really done anything today.
Yeah, it tends to do the opposite. Like when everything's going down, BNB seems to always have the movement up, and then when everything's going up, it seems to just be stagnant. It's sort of weird like that.
Yeah, and if we look at HBAR, so HBAR is getting a good move. So it had deviated well below that range, and it was, it was looking pretty dismal down at 17 cents. And then it found a bottom, and then today it's just got that good move.
What's the price on HBAR right now?
26.5.
You know, it's funny, Billy, real quick, if I can interject this. In my portfolio, I've been watching coins in the top 100, coins in the top 500, coins in the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000s. And you could watch all these at the same time, and you could see the actual money flow moving from the top tier to the bottom, and then you see these coins that are like 2,000, 3,000 starting to pump. After these coins in the top 100 have kind of topped out a little bit, and that's the flow, that money flow people are talking about. Is they're taking profits, they're putting it in more riskier stuff. That riskier stuff is pumping, and so that might have been what got Pepe this morning a little bit was those were just profits that were spilling off from other coins pumping, or because I noticed those high utility coins like HBAR and XRP, they pumped first, and then later on when I got back in at 10 a.m. before our meeting, I started noticing my AI coins were pumping, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. And right now, pretty much all the portfolio's green. So at the end of the day, we're still green, but I like watching the money flow go from coin to coin.
But by money flow, you actually mean you like watching the money as it flows, not the money flow on the chart, right?
No, not the chart. Just in the portfolio, because they'll be red to start, and then come back an hour later, and they're starting to get green again. The more riskier coins I have are starting to get more and more green. So it's fun to watch.
Liquidity flow, yeah. So
Yeah.
Andy says, if you guys could pick only one, what would it be? The XRP, Solana, Cardano, or ETH? Well,
I would get on the Soul train.
I'm Dave Sansol. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, and I'm with Dave.
Okay. Red Man?
I'm Cardano. Definitely. Cardano and HBAR.
Yeah, I'm Cardano. I would vote Cardano on that. I'm biased. I'm just biased for Cardano. But yeah, that's an interesting question. Let's see. There's another question I saw. I know what Wick would say. XRP all the way. XRP all the way. Let's see. What's Dutchy saying here? Oh, Dutchy's heading out. He's got to carve some new clogs out in the wood shop. So he's got work to do. He's heading out. We'll see you, brother. Thanks for stopping in, V-Sun. Thank you. Cretan had a baby. That's awesome. It's always great to see a new life come into this world, man. It's such a blessing. All right, Jimmy Jim. Do you guys have any other topics before we get into Jimmy Jim's final words? You got anything, Dave? Lay it on. We got some time. So
No, I don't think that we have anything else that we wanted to talk about. There was nothing that we wanted to talk about.
Red Man?
I think what turned me off, and I would have said Solana, had there not been such a big presence of the meme ball that's in Solana. I mean, I think I rode that train for about a week or two, and I figured out how bad these meme coins just rug. I mean, they pump out of nowhere, and these things just rug, and they'll take you $30. They'll take your $50. It seems like as soon as I was doing a lot of research that time on memes and developers. I wanted to find which developers were legit and they wanted to build something like a Pepe or like a Doge or something that's stable, got its foot in, and is not a total meme. And then I went from base. I went to Solana. I was in Sui, trying to find a stable team that I could invest in, and I know I could get something really early. I'd be okay. The memes, they just, even with all the research that I did, it just totally turned me off to the whole meme coin market. And I'm sorry, dude. There's money to be made in memes, and if you invest in memes, I don't look down on you because you have a conviction, obviously, and that's okay. You're allowed to have that conviction. But for me, it's about utility. It's about the founder. I believe in Charles Hoskinson. I've met Charles Hoskinson. He's always on Twitter. He's always out and about, making himself apparent in space. And for me, that's bullish. that's bullish. When midnight comes, there's a lot of different things that you got to look at. But if these people are dropping new stuff like Doom Hydra came out, Doom used Hydra. They found out they could do 1 million transactions per second. That's impressive. Now, Fire Dancer is coming for Solana. So Solana they are trying to improve on their transaction speed, and I get it. The only problem with them is the validators. The validators are centralized. So if one validator goes down, the whole network goes down. And that everybody knows that's been the biggest pet peeve with Solana since their inception. But I think Cardano is the most decentralized because they have nodes all over the place. And I'm just looking at their ecosystem. Cardano, once they made that partnership with Bitcoin, they're going to bring DeFi to Cardano through Bitcoin. That's massive. That they could tap into $1.5 trillion with the DeFi liquidity, and that's humongous. So these are the things that you want to look at. These are the things that I look at. You can do your own research, but these are the things that I look at when I'm trying to find something that I want to invest in longer than 6 months, longer than a year. When I want to make a long 2-3 year investment into a project, I want to see projects building in the bear market and bull market. They just don't stop. Cardano doesn't stop. So HBAR hasn't stopped. HBAR is not talked about enough, in my opinion. Their AI and their RWA. I believe when their RWA comes, HBAR has a lot of upside. And I'm not going to give some crazy prediction like a lot of people out there. I'm just going to say that I'm bullish on it. And I know in the long run, it will go somewhere. So that's the type of utility that I'm looking for when I'm in these long-term investments.
That's good stuff, man. I agree with all that. What's your thoughts, Jimmy, on that?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing some quick math.
Jimmy's portfolio tracking now.
No, not that. I was
Okay.
actually looking at something else.
No, so Redman made the case on Cardano and HBAR and why he would choose ADA, and I was just going to see, what's your thoughts for picking Solana?
I mean, just historically speaking, this is probably the fastest, biggest move Cardano has ever made, whereas Solana has done it many times over. Really 100% based on that, it's got a big community behind it. Both of them do, right? But it seems like, Solana has just made bigger moves more times. And for that, I would just, if I was betting, that's where I would place my bet.
Yeah, I see RMT, Retro Mike's in the building. Good to see you, Retro Mike. We appreciate you being around, hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. Appreciate, RMT always brings the heat. He has the details. We love him. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's good for the whole entire space. Whatever your thesis is, whatever your own bet is, God bless you. We want you to do well. We want you.
You froze, Billy.
We are the ones that have worked hard to learn this space, to become knowledgeable, and to invest in it. And so I'm just like, the best wish for me would be like all of us and, the whole class before us, 4 or 5 years before us. I just want everybody to do well because we put in the time. It's like anything else. You're a farmer, you go out in the field every single summer and you're baling hay and you're doing what it takes, and you want your farm after all that work to be productive and profitable, right? And so I want everybody that's put in the blood, sweat, and tears to be profitable. and so we can all celebrate together and have fun and not, have the stress of these bear markets. That's right around the corner again, and just be in a great position. That's what I'm hopeful for with everyone out there. We got another request to open the club. You guys like that club, huh? Everybody's open the club. I guess we could open the club, Dave, if you're willing to open the club before we get into Jimmy Jim's final thoughts. Someone said the goat fingers. Oh man, I had something else I was going to bring up while that club was going on, and then I saw the goat finger comment, and I looked down at it, and I said, "Oh yeah, those do look kind of ratty." And then I forgot what I was going to say. Rusty, what you got? Consumed about Ethereum. Let's see. Let's put this up here. I'm concerned about Ethereum. Pector upgrade, EIP 7702. This will make people pay less gas fees, and ETH and supply is going to skyrocket. We all know what happened to supply in March of 2024. One thing with ETH that I still don't understand it. I still don't understand. I understand the value. I understand the utility. I understand that there's so much built on ETH. There's a lot of projects built on ETH. I understand it's the number one alt. But what I don't understand is anything like our fiat dollars. If you can continuously add to supply, even when they went from proof of work, proof of stake, and with the burn and everything, if you're continuously adding supply, and it's why I never understood Doge. For me, the essence of Bitcoin, which is the number one blockchain, right? What started it all is this fact that you have limited supply, a locked supply, scarcity. And I just don't, it's hard for me to understand how something can continuously go up when you just continue to add more supply to it. Somebody smarter than me is going to have to sit me down one day and explain that to me. I do understand there's a little bit of burn going on, but that every time I look at that, it seems like so insignificant to what's being added in. I just don't understand it. Now, with that being said, hey, I've done well in ETH. I bought Jimmy knows, we bought ETH in the bear at $850, right? So I'm not complaining. I just wish I would understand how that is going to continue if it's not just hopium, right? Hype. I just don't get that piece. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, depends on how much
Where's our crickets at?
I guess it depends on how much the government's buying, right? I mean, if they're buying a lot, even if the gas fees go down, and then a bunch of other countries jump on board, it may not play out like that. I mean, there's a possibility of that. I mean, that's always been a battle with ETH, and I mean, it wasn't until really the last year or so was it at one point deflationary, not by a lot. But I mean, I think it's going to live through the cycle just fine. I think as things like today happen, it's going to get on people's radar, and everything will be as it should be, right? I mean, I still think $8,000 ETH is not out of the question.
No, I don't think it's out of the question either, man. I don't think it's out of the question, but RMT throwing the sauce. Yeah. They don't need fixed supply, right? They need as many coins in circulation as possible. More tokens equals lower price equals cheaper to use the network. And I get that, understand that. That makes perfect logical sense to me. Certainly doesn't make investment sense to me though. But as far as it being used as circulation for gas fees and more tokens equal lower price. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But it just keeps going up. We'll see this bull run, right? Like I think the last bull run was like $4,200 was high or something. It's 44 somewhere around there. Let's see what happens this bull run.
BlackRock is buying ETH. So guys, and another thing too, XRP is dangerously close to that market cap. It could it could surpass ETH, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening because ETH has been such a stable for so long. Not only that, I want to kind of revisit something that was said a long time ago. I don't know how true it is or if it's going to come true, but if BlackRock uses ETH as a platform for stock market 2.0 for crypto, it could be big for ETH. I haven't heard that in a while, but I've been waiting for that because I have it written down in my notebook. Somebody said that on a show a long time ago. They were expecting BlackRock to use ETH as a platform to be able to sell crypto to the banks. I'm waiting for that to happen, and that'll be great for ETH. I think things like that will happen in the future, and I would never discount Ethereum. It's not too big to fail. It can fail, but I'm not married to it. But there's just so much promise with Ethereum. Still, the L2s, the rollups, the stable coins, and the stable coin market is going to get bigger when the normies come in and they want to buy their pizza. So I wouldn't count out Ethereum at all. I think it's going to be there.
Here we go. Dave Digital.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
we get close to the end and Dave he can't help it. I love it.
I gotta fire one off.
That's a foot foul, Dave. That's a foot foul. He built these a couple weeks ago. He just refound them again.
I've been hurting for the last 30 minutes. I finally relieved the pressure.
There you go, Dave.
We got quick bugs.
All right. We don't have to go through them all, Dave. All right, we ready for Jimmy Jim's final thoughts? Jimmy, you ready?
Sure.
What you got brewing, Jimmy Jim?
Well, I mean, actually, this week, I'm looking forward to see how the cryptocurrency market plays out this week for sure. But I think tomorrow or Tuesday, the XVM token has its TGE event. So we should be able to start cashing out in the near future on what those nodes have produced. And when you came to me and I was doing math, I was looking at, I noticed the OSMI AI nodes that run on Gala. You can actually cash out your tokens there now. It's a slow bleed. You can't cash it all out, of course, but I was just doing some quick math and that I've already tripled what I put into the node at these deflated OSMI token prices. It was up in the 20s, close to 30 cents. I think it's around 16 cents right now, but even at 16 cents, that node has produced about $15,000 in OSMI. So I was pretty excited to see that. And that's why I was all off my game when you came to me, because I hadn't looked at it probably in a month.
That's huge, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it kind of wants me to. I mean, I told myself, I told you guys earlier, I was like, as soon as the stream ends today, I'm going to go grab 4 grid nodes. But now I'm kind of like, man, I don't know. I might have to pick up another OSMI and put the grid nodes on the back burner for the time being.
Is that the one we're
price
in
of them
too?
just jumped up.
Do we have that
That's
one
the
too?
XVM. That's
Okay.
the XVM. So the TGE for it, I think, is tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or it was like March 3rd or 4th. So we should get some added functionality in the website to, start peeling. I'm sure they're going to tax it, once the token gets generated. I mean, that's what they always do. So we'll probably have to wait, realistically another 90 days, so we're not losing a bunch of tokens in the taxation, of minting. But yeah, I mean, that's I think it's going to be a fun week. I hope it's going to be a fun week. It's been a long time coming, since January. I mean, it's just been, feels like it's just been a real slow slide down a 1970s rusted ass slide like we used to come across in the park that would, take about 2 mils of skin off every time you went down it. I mean, that's what it's felt like for the last couple of months. So I'm ready to, turn this thing around, get it going in the right direction, and I'm really hoping that this is the catalyst that's going to start it. We shall see.
Yeah, and what's up with your Mickey Mouse pool that you had from last week?
So Mickey Mouse pool, it's still going to golden and has not yet. We're going to go ahead and get it graded, and then I think we're going to sit on it because some new developments happened over the last week. There was number 5 of 5 of the same card I had. It was on eBay listed at $37,000 raw. It got taken down. Like the seller took it down, which kind of tells me more than likely someone popped up locally in the San Diego area and wanted to buy it. So we're gonna, I want to wait a week or two, see if that one resurfaces. Oddly enough, the very next day I was in my guy's stream on Philly Whiz Kids, and a fella came in there and started asking all kinds of crazy questions about the card, saying he's working for some big, can't be named client that is allegedly building the largest Disney card collection out of this series, and he wants that card. So I was like, well, I mean, make a reasonable offer, and I'll consider any real offer, but it better have at least 1 comma in it, and the first number better start with a 2.
That's right. That's right, Jimmy.
So
That's
we're just
awesome,
kind of
man.
waiting and seeing. I don't want to. If that card raw sold for 20 grand and then mine goes off and gets graded a 10, well, man, now we're talking probably a $30,000 Mickey that I'm in possession of. But if I go first, with a 10 and it doesn't sell for in the 20s, if it sells for in the teens, then you kind of just crush the whole Mickey market, with that sale. So we're just trying to be real strategic about parting with it. He's actually coming down here in a couple of weeks. I may ask him to bring it down just so I can hold it in my hands at least once and take a picture with it. But yeah, it'll end up going back to golden.
Well, keep us informed, man. That's great.
Yeah, sure.
I hope that doggone thing sells for $100K, man. That'd be awesome.
Dude, that would be
That'd
nuts.
be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get on out of here. It is the end of the hour. We appreciate you all stopping in to Billy Goat Tales. Remember, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on X, we're going to have Crypto Lifer on Life So it's going to be a great stream, personal development stream. We'll probably talk a little trading. It's Lifer. He's probably definitely going to talk some trading, but we're going to try to keep it focused in on how to be successful, what you have to do to be persistent, take action, build a community, be a good person, do the right thing when nobody's looking, that kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll be a great space. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And of course, we want to see everybody in all of our creator streams tomorrow. As you know, Alex O Crypto, Army Piper, Miss Teen Crypto, Sin City, Frankie, Lifer, all of us do our support, Jason Casper, all of our good peeps out there. So with that, I'm going to say adios and get us on out of here. Have a great night, everyone.